All right, viewers, thank you so very much for staying with us here on Facing the Nation. Yes, you see my head is going very different ways because there are several cameras, so I'm just trying to get my bearings. Of course, I want to take this opportunity to thank Minister Trotman very much for coming on our program today. And of course, as I did say, our conversation, the beginning of our conversation, came against the backdrop of the fact that we are currently in mining week. Mining week is from the 21st of August to the 27th of August. That's mining week 2016. You heard about all the challenges, the benefits, the gains, and so on about when it comes to the mining sector from Minister Trotman, and he really appreciated that. I am also happy that he took some time to spend on the state of the government. He did indicate that, sometimes we judge too harshly and we jump to criticisms, but at the same time, also remember that Minister Trotman did say that the criticisms are, what are needed. I'd like to even push it here and go as far as to say that Raphael Trotman is indeed one of our good, or I should say, one of our better, not only ministers but public officials, of course, from the interactions that I would have had with him. So support when you can. The ones who are really good, who are already there, they're already standing on 2 feet and they're solid. We must celebrate and continue to encourage them. And the ones who we believe, in our opinions, are not necessarily there where we want them to be, we still should support them, because in order for a child or children, I'm not saying that they're children, but in order for anyone to get better, you must support and encourage them and even point out the error of their ways in some cases. Today is a very big day for the People's National Congress reform. It is our 19th biennial Congress. You've heard the buzz. People are excited about the elections of it, which is one of the, well, I shouldn't say the important thing, but in terms of electing our officers, the officers of the PNCR, this aspect of it is really very important, and that day is on Sunday when we vote. What is going to be happening today? I'm just giving you some rundown here while we're also waiting on Mr. James Bond. As you know, I had James Bond on the program last week. He is one of the young persons. He is actually vying for the title of Vice Chairman of the People's National Congress Reform, and he's been doing some hard campaigning. So I'm going to take that as an excuse as to why he's late. So we're going to see if he's going to be here by the time I'm ready to wrap up today's program. What is happening today at Congress Place to Fire? And it's pretty big, it's pretty open. A lot of people would have gotten invitations. This is the first day of the Congress, the opening ceremony, which, as you know, anything that has to do with PNCR, I'm very proud of it. Fortunately, I am the person who would be chairing the opening ceremony, so I'm pretty excited about that. I am always excited, anything to do with the party that I love. What's happening today is the opening ceremony. At this opening ceremony, you will be entertained, of course, clean, patriotic and national entertainment. You will hear the welcoming remarks from the chairman of the party, the current chairman, and I should also take this opportunity to remind you that there almost at every biennial congress, the leader is challenged, the chairman is challenged. Those posts are challenged. People actually vie for them. But what is happening this year, which is, it's good in a sense. The president, who is also the president of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, who is also the leader of the People's National Congress Reform, he's unchallenged this year, so there's not going to be voting for him or against him. The chairman, who I was just speaking about, Mr. Basil Williams, the Honorable Basil Williams, who is also the Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs of our country, his position is also challenged. So today you'll hear the welcoming remarks from him at the opening ceremony. You will also get the keynote address from the president himself, who is also, as I said, the leader of the party. You will hear various entertainment pieces. Minister Trotman and I were just speaking about the importance of greening, a green economy, and so on. So part of that will be the highlight this afternoon. I know I'm giving it away because I know some of you won't be able to make it. You get a song about greening the economy, and basically it's just to mix and mingle with the delegates, observers, the ministers of government. I'm also told that the prime minister and first vice president, Minister Moses Nagamutu will also be there. And I must take this opportunity to also, on behalf of the People's National Congress Reform, thank the Alliance for Change. Even though they are a part, we're all part of the government, but remember, each party holds its individuality. So at this point, I'd like to thank the Alliance for Change, the AFC. Incidentally, Minister Trotman is also from the Alliance for Change, so I'd like to thank them for embracing and supporting the PNCR in this Congress, and just for everything that they've done so far. So we'll be happy to see Prime Minister Moses Nagamutu there in the midst today. So thank you to him and all the others who continue to support the People's National Congress Reform. Again, this is a first for me. I know I'm talking to you, and you're seeing me looking down constantly because I'm getting messages, and I'm going to have James Bond apologize to you when he gets here because I'm getting messages from him. He's giving me updates on how close to the building he is, and I'm happy to report that he's very close. So according to him, he should be here in 2 minutes while I continue to talk to you. Let me talk about what's going to happen on the second day of our 19th Biennial Congress. Of course, this is closed doors, so the media is not invited. This is when motions, proposals, all these things are made on the floor. People get a chance to voice their opinions. They get a chance to talk about what would have happened. From the last time we would have had a Congress to now, people get, and this is where it comes. This is where the democracy of the party comes in. It's a very democratic process. People would have their, their own opinions. They're allowed to voice their opinions, and if comments need to be made in terms of solutions for some of the problems they would have raised, these solutions are given. And I'm smiling because I'm talking to you. And again, he has to ask you to forgive him and apologize to you. The man of the hour and the moment who I've been delaying is currently entering the studio. But let me just finish what I'm talking to you and, of course, talking to you about, and he will join us. So that is what is going to be happening on the Saturday. And again, we're really happy for this forum. A reminder, this Congress, like the Central Executive Committee, it is one of the highest decision-making bodies in our party, which is a very democratic one. And I did say to you before what is happening on the third day, the Sunday. That is where we vote. And the thing is, it really is nice because even though it's usually a competitive atmosphere, people still find a way to bond. So there is some campaigning being done on the ground on at least 2 out of those 3 days. And of course, you have heard a good amount from me, a good mouthful from me. So now I am going to ask the man of the moment to join me on the set, Mr. James Anthony Bond. I did tell you, for those of you who watch the program every week, you know he was on last week. But this is just to give him another opportunity to come back here, because even though I know the public, the general public, cannot vote in our elections, it's only for the delegates and observers and so on. It's just to remind you that, look, the young talent, our young leadership, we are out there. We're there and we're ready to go. So don't think because you can't vote, it's not necessary for you to know. We need your support because eventually, sometime or the other, he's going to want your vote at the national level. And I have said so much. James Anthony Bond, welcome back to Facing the Nation. And you owe my viewers an apology, sir.
I think I have a very good apology, and I think they'll accept it.
They'll accept it. Okay.
We were at 704 Sports Club sending off the National Olympic squad
Okay.
to Azerbaijan. I had to make a donation to that trip, and the Director of Sport, Mr. Christopher Jones, he also, on behalf of the National Sports Commission, made a very, very tangible donation to that trip.
Okay.
To develop our national chess players. As you know, chess is a sport that teaches you strategy, teaches you patience, and it increases your intellectual capacity, actually. So we were just there, and that took a bit, and I had to rush off.
And you had to rush. But
yes,
I'm happy that you rushed.
I apologize to you and the viewers.
All right, but you made it, which is the good thing. So I'm assuming, because I'm just going to jump right into it. I'm assuming, because you seem to be very patient, especially when it comes to politics. So I'm assuming chess is what is responsible for that patience?
Yes, I think I see things dispassionately, and I try to reason as far as possible, best case, worst case scenarios in every single decision. And it's helped. It's helped tremendously.
Okay.
In that I don't make decisions rationally. I don't make decisions of the spur of the cuff. I normally consult. I ask persons what they think, and then make a decision. So it's helped me a lot.
Okay. All right, let's talk about it because I know you're probably almost running on empty. You have been running for the last few days, the past week. You've been doing your campaigning and you've been moving around. And everybody's talking about James Bond, which I am very pleased about. As you all know, I did say last week, this is my pick. I am supporting James Bond for vice chairman. Again, just to remind you, there is a slot for two of them, two vice chairpersons of the People's National Congress Reform. James is going after one of those spots, and I hope next week when I come back on Facing the Nation, I'll be able to say, yeah, even though I may not have him back, but I'll be able to say Mr. Vice Chairman of the PNCR, James Bond. So let's keep our fingers crossed and continue to support him. James, what is the support like? And I know for a fact that there's been a one and two negative trickling here, there, and this is not about name calling, but there's been those. Has it phased you in any way? And I know the viewers, this would have happened, I'm talking about in the past 4 or 5 days. Are you phased in any way?
No, it's something I'm accustomed to. And I remind myself it's only when you're actually doing something that people tend to pull stuff out of the wicker work of their mind. And I had it in 2011 when I ran for presidential candidate. I had that. Oh, James Bond is this, James Bond is that. It happens a lot, and I think I'm immune to criticisms in the sense that the criticism that would tend to hurt or try to destroy you. If it's constructive, I take it on board. But those bad talking and name calling, I've gotten used to it over the years, so I could deal with it better. No, I don't respond. For one, you won't find me going down into the dirt and responding in kind.
You respond, and viewers, it's interesting because I was reading a back and forth he was having with someone earlier in the week, and you James, the fact is you respond by mocking the other person. I think that sets them off even more.
Well, sometimes you have to be very sarcastic in your response. You know, you tend to throw them off a bit. So I have various ways in which I can respond to someone, but I won't get into cussing, abuse out, and that kind of thing. I think as adults we could agree and we could disagree, and we could disagree in a very respectful manner.
Indeed, James. Confidence level as we head into the 19th Biennial Congress.
Yes, as we go into that, I must say this, make this very clear. I'm excited for the fact that a lot of people are tuned in.
Okay.
A lot of persons have been messaging me who are not PNC persons. Of course, the PNC supporters have messaged and says, yes, James, we're in your corner. I've made a number of phone calls to persons to say, yes, James, we're in your corner. We support your candidacy. And but a lot of Guyanese across the divide, they are interested in what we do. And I think that bodes very, very well when the eyes of the world are on us, and we could deliver to them something that they could admire and look up to. So I think the Congress is not just about, persons say, white pitch on social media, white pitch on national media. That helps in lifting the image of the party. That helps in promoting the image of the party. And I think we should always, as PNCR, try as much as possible to be relatable. And that is the kind of leadership I will bring to the PNCR. Leadership that is relatable. Most persons know that I come from humble beginnings and I remain humble. I could be called at any time, I could be approached at any time and anywhere. And I'm a listener. I think they want a leader who will be able to listen to them and take their concerns on board. And I must say that it is interesting that at this juncture, that we have all the persons who are vying for office, they're ministers. And I'm the only person who's not in government.
You're the underdog.
And I think that is my strength. No, that doesn't make me an underdog. I think I consider that a strength. I consider that a strength because I think the PNCR, the comrades will recognize that, you know what, our ministers, they need help, and the party needs help. So why not give it to someone who is not burdened are cumbered with.
Cumbered with. So I noticed
a heavy load.
He's choosing his words carefully. Rightly
Yes.
so, sir.
Yeah, so I'm very, very excited. I'm supposed to meet with some members just now. I have a meeting slated to talk to a grouping just now, and I must thank those members who have actually listened. They may not support, but they gave you a listening ear.
Exactly.
It says, yes, James, I may support X or Y. Of course, on the day in Congress, I may switch my allegiances to you, but I support the idea of you contesting, and I appreciate that very much within our party, this day and age, that we have not come to the part whereby, oh, what is he doing?
Yeah.
Why he don't just quit? Why is he going up for that? We got people we want there already. So I'm very, very heartened that they've opened their ears, they've listened to the case that I have made, and they said, well, run with it and we support you.
I'm happy that they have too, and I'm happy that you were able to, in a sense, set those persons who were set them straight. And I don't mean that in a rude way. The persons who are saying why general media, why social media, when people on the outside can't vote, and that's what I was saying earlier. At the end of the day, this is building James, and there will come a time when the people from the outside will be able to do something or say something in order to, get James where he feel he needs to be, to help, to continue to help, and not only people in general, but youths in general. So I'm happy that you were able to clear that up.
Yes, and I have one thing I have enjoyed whilst being in politics is the support of the wider spectrum of Guyanese, from all walks of life, from all religious parties, from all races. I have always enjoyed that support. Persons know me as a person who actually motivated them via Facebook to go to the polls, to join the party. They remember me for that. And I get up to today, I get things from persons saying, James, you work so hard, and we did what we did because of you. And I want to keep that aspect always in the forefront, that I could motivate and inspire people, young people. It keeps you grounded. It keeps you, of course it does. That at the end of the day, I never look for today. I'm always looking forward. And I must say we are poised for a tremendous takeoff after this Congress. I think, Guyana, you will see a lot of new dynamics to politics, and new dynamics to youth campaigning and youth advocacy. And I'm excited for that phase, that chapter of my political career, of your political career, of Chris's political career, Ryan's and the other youngsters who are coming through. I'm excited to see that dimension that we take on.
Okay, all right. Well said, James. I know both of us are running right now because, as I did tell the viewers, that today is the big day. Today is the opening of Congress. I will be around James for the entire weekend, basically, because again, we're pushing James Bond. But for now, we have to wrap up our discussion here with you. Viewers, I want to thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you very much to James Anthony Bond. Thank you very much to the Honorable Raphael Trotman. I always get more than I bargain for whenever he comes to Facing the Nation, and I really, really appreciate that. Don't forget, Mining Week wraps up tomorrow. It's, of course, going to be in Bartik. Of course, we can't be there because we can't be two places at once, but have a great weekend. Be good Guyanese citizens. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. I am Malika Ramsey. This has been Facing the Nation.